when I went to UMass, probably the last thing in the world I would have thought I would have ended up doing would have been to be a general partner in a venture firm. So personal history is this. Graduated from high school, grew up in Milton, graduated in 1969. My father had died when I was 16 years old. He had died of a war-inflicted injury. I went to UMass as a war orphan. So I was able to go to UMass on a full scholarship, a veteran scholarship, and I was an English major. And it was a time, it was the Vietnam War, it was a crazy time at UMass. You probably read about it. I had long hair, I smoked, I did all sorts of alternate recreational activities. And for me, and I think for that class of people who were at UMass at the time, a career was not the predominant thing you thought about. It was really the world was undergoing immense change. The Vietnam War was really changing the landscape of politics. Yet I sort of developed an academic passion around a number of things, including literature, studies, and I became a pretty good student. I graduated, and since I still had some of my veteran scholarship left, I got a teaching fellowship at Clark University in Worcester. You know, like many people, your first career choice is not the one that you end up with, and I found out that I really did not like teaching, especially people who were not that interested in studying. So I was really in a quandary about what to do, but I had two skills. I was very good at writing, and believe it or not, at UMass, I had taken a computer programming class, you know, with big decks of cards. There was one mainframe, and those two things landed me a job at Data General. And Data General was an early computer company at the very beginning of the computer revolution. I responded to an ad in the Boston Globe that said, "Come, free coffee and donuts, we need people." I went there, and within one day, I got a job writing operating system documentation for mini computers. I stayed there for 2 years. I went on to digital equipment, where I continued in that sort of a technical role, graduated into a management role, went to Apollo Computer, got into marketing, and then became very knowledgeable in the systems development around document technologies, publishing, document management, landing at a startup company where I was part of the founding management team of a company called Interleaf. Interleaf was a very notable company in this area, probably second to Lotus in terms of the software area. Was with the company for 7 years, helped take the company public, grow the company to $120 million. And at that point in my career, I decided I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to run my own company. And that's when I was fortunate enough to be recruited into a company called PC Docs. That was, again, a very nascent company, minimal revenues. I came in as president and CEO to grow the company. Venture capitalists in Canada recruited me. I actually moved the company in February from Tallahassee, Florida to Boston. Took 35 people here, and over the course of 3.5 years grew the company from about $3 million in revenue to about $60 million in revenue. Took the company public in '98 and ran the company thereafter for about 1.5 years. Company got acquired by a bigger company. I took some time off. Yahoo was just going public. It was clear that the internet was the next big thing, and I wanted to be part of that. So I was recruited by Charles River Ventures to run one of their portfolio companies called NetGenesis. And NetGenesis was founded by a handful, really two guys out of MIT. They were both, 24 years old. They had sort of brilliant technology and didn't have a clue about how to build a business. Really liked the guys. I can't say I had great foresight that this could be a great public company, but I thought it would be fun. I really liked the space, and I saw it as a big opportunity. And one of the things I learned in my previous is that you have to take a lot of risk in life if you want to see a reward. So I teamed with those guys, and over the course of 4 years grew the company from 8 people to 300 people, became the market leader in this web analytics space. So if you know of companies like Omniture, you've heard of that, public companies, we were the first company in the web analytics space to go public and be successful. We had very big customers like Fidelity and E-Trade, etc. And I took the company public at the height of the Internet 1.0 bubble. It was February of 2000. We had a market cap of $1 billion. I was very wealthy at that time when we took the company public. But in the course of 2 years, the market crashed. The company, like all internet companies, had to downsize. And at the end of 2 years running a public company, through a very difficult time, I was able to sell the company to a bigger software company and exit them. At that time, I said to myself, do I want to run another company? What do I want to do? I was approached by 4 guys who had started General Catalyst, and I knew one of them well. His name is David Orfeo. He's a notable CEO and executive in the Boston area. He ran a company called Alaire. And he said, why don't you come work with us for a while? We need someone to either run one of our companies or to invest with us. So I joined the firm as a venture partner. And a venture partner is someone who is an accomplished executive who will work with a venture firm and sometimes either run one of their companies or sometimes actually become a general partner. And what happened is I quickly became very enamored with working with young entrepreneurs. They asked me to start to, I saw some interesting companies. The first company I found I invested in. 14 months later, the company got bought by IBM. We made more than 3 times our money. I said, boy, this is an easy business.